If you can hear that annoying sound, it's your carbon monoxide detector in your RV or your smoke alarm. If it's going off a lot faster than that, you probably need to figure out where the smoke's coming from. In my case, I've got a carbon monoxide detector here in my RV. It's a 2011 Tiffin 28-foot breeze. Anyhow, through no fault of my own, of course, on the way back from a trip, a unsecured pot of water, that was a coffee pot, fell down and doused my carbon monoxide detector with a bunch of water and shorted something out. And luckily for me, didn't actually short anything out and catch on fire. But now that it's beeping, now that it's bad, now that I've tried to reset it and fix it and everything else, realizing it's also 10 years old, I'm just going to replace it. So, in which, by the way, these things last for 10 years. There are little sensors in them that detect the gases and everything. They've got a shelf life of about 10 years. So, I'm going to replace this one. You can find ones that you just plug into an outlet. You know, there's a reason that carbon monoxide detectors are on the floor, I think, is just because the gases are heavier than the air, so they tend to settle at the bottom. So, you know, if you have one if that's true, I need to look that up. But your plug-in ones are going to be much higher on the wall. So these are wired in. That is really loud. 12 volt, so they run on your 12 volt system. And a lot of you with the early breezes like mine, the 2011s and stuff, or really any model, you'll find out that they will run your battery down, because in some cases they hardwire these in to the chassis batteries, and which means if you're not plugged into power, then you got about 3 days before this thing, chirps its way down to, no battery at all. So what we're going to do is we're going to replace it with this guy right here that I got from our trusty Amazon source. It's a wired one. It comes with this connector on it and everything. So all we got to do is strip a couple of ends of some wires off, and we should be good to go. So first of all, though, I'm going to start setting off some power, because I really have no idea where the fuse is for this thing. I'm not even going to take time looking for it. I'm just going to disconnect all the power. So we've got 3 places to disconnect power. We've got our house battery switch, our chassis battery switch, and then if you're plugged into shore power or you have your generator running, turn off your generator, unplug from shore power, because your shore power is going to be, potentially, depending on your model of RV, bypassing any of these other, bypass switches and stuff like that. So, because it's a pretty important device to have running. So, with that being said, I'll be right back, and we'll see if this thing goes off. So I thought I'd add in here on my little video where my switch is. Now, these are my house batteries. They're basically golf cart batteries. If you're shopping for, house batteries for your RV and you're not familiar with them, they're just golf cart batteries. And so you can get them like for $100 a piece at Costco if you've got a membership there. But anyway, this is our shut off here, right? So this is going to be the thing that lets us cut off the power from these batteries to make sure we don't still have 12 volts running to that thing. So we reach in, that one's off. All right, let me close this door before these chickens go running in there, checking things out. Come on, Alice. All right, on the chassis batteries, there's our big old red switch there. Now these batteries are starting batteries. They're a little heavier duty than regular car batteries. Our last place we need to turn off power is going to be here. Now, I can't actually turn it off here, but I'm just pointing out, whoops, there you go, that this is the transfer switch that your shore power comes into and your generator power comes into, and converts everything over to the 120 that you need inside for your regular outlets for your refrigerator and air conditioner, stuff like that. For myself here, I've just got this wired at the house. That's a banana plant. Don't worry about that. It'll come back to life in the spring. And reach in here with the spiders. All right. That is powered off. Switches are off. Then let's go see if we've got beeping still. I'll just let this run because you guys love watching videos about RVs as much as I do. This is my 28BR 2011. All right. I haven't heard a beep. Nothing yet. No dinghies. All right, I think we are officially dead in the water here in the RV. So now I'm safe to go ahead and disconnect my power, pull this thing off the wall. Now I'd already unscrewed this before, so because I was, having to figure out what was going on. So there were only 2 screws that hold it into the wall. Now I did go ahead and disconnect this from the back because I was trying to see if I could fix it or not. But there were 4 screws on the back side of it that connected to the circuit board. And you can see here, if you've ever wondered what's in the wall, nothing. Just an empty space underneath the toilet and stuff like that. I mean, maybe you need to get your hand in there at some point to get something with the plumbing. But so all we really got to do here now that our power's out is connect the new one just exactly where the old one was. So power's the same color. We're not going to mix anything up. We're not going to suddenly decide that our red needs to go with white or anything like that. We're just going to cut these guys and strip a little bit of the end off. And then they will clip into here. And I'll show you what that looks like in just a second. Let me get this prepped. I'll be right back. Alright, so I finally got the other one off and stripped them down and everything. And you can see I got the colors lined back up again. And if you're curious about these things, they're super easy to deal with. We just take and you strip a little bit off the end, which these came with it on the side with the detector here. That was already done and everything. So, but those just, you strip a little bit and clip it down and you're done. Did the same thing over here. Probably had more than I needed, but nothing's exposed. We're good there. Everything's fine. We're plugged up. I'm going to go turn on the power. I won't waste y'all's time with that. And then make sure that this thing isn't still sitting here beeping and something else is going wrong, and we'll go from there. So be right back. All right, so went and turned everything back on. The order really doesn't matter. Came in, peeled the little paint, or excuse me, peeled the little sticker off the thing where it told me to. Now it can sense. It's on. No sparks flew. We're not burning anything down. And this hasn't beeped yet. So we'll give it a test real quick, which is right here. Yeah, well, I guess that's how the test works. I'll have to read the manual to figure out what those beeps all mean. But for right now, nothing's turned on. No funny looking lights or anything. Everything's good. Now all I got to do is figure out which one of these covers I want to use to get it back in. I'll let you know in a second. Alright, well, we successfully got it put back in. Well, we as in me. But, lined up pretty fine. I used a little slimline one. I just went ahead and reused the same holes that were already there. I mean, it shows a little bit of trim here, or not trim, it shows a little bit of the space that was there before. There's no way in the world that's going to hurt anything. And, easy breezy here is about, 14 years old? And hey, everybody starts showing cracks at 14 years old. So, if anybody's interested in like what model it is, there's a decent picture, like a close-up, and I can't tell if it's actually, you can see it or not, but when you go look on Amazon for those, they're right about 50 bucks. This one's a model is like a R502 or something like that, but they're all very similar. And again, the biggest thing is just that these are wired in. These 12-volt wired ones are a little more expensive. You can get the battery ones. Like I said, that's completely up to you. Smoke from a fire is going to go up in the ceiling. That's why the detectors are up there. And propane, LP gases are a little heavier, and they're probably going to be on the floor. Buyer beware, I guess. But everything else here is done. Hope y'all enjoyed it. And make sure to check yours, test it once a week. And remember, they only last about 10 years. So if you've never changed it out and yours is more than 10 years old, probably a good time to go check it. So until next time on this old motor house, I guess. Y'all have a good one.